We live.
I need my phone to share. Oh, shit.
Hit the privacy button. It's already public. Start sharing this in the groups. Mm-hmm. We still got a minute, even though we live. We got some time. What up, MS? The guru is here. The guru is definitely in the building. You know? Oh. Welcome, everybody, to the fifth wonder of the world. Nah, sound like a rap song, though, don't it? Not eating my traditional fruit, Tito. Can't have food on my mouth. Can't have food on my mouth.
All right, my shares is up, cuz.
You good?
Yes, sir.
All right, give me a second before we kick it off. 1 second. All right. No, we got to come up with another intro, but for now, let's get to it.
I met a boy today.
That's me.
So fine.
If you know, tap in, share the post. It's your boy PH, aka The Press, aka Mr. Above 140.
Come to my town and get with me. She love I'm around.
It's not about the amount of talent you have. It's 100% about the work ethic. Ask your coach or anybody that's been doing this.
I met a boy today. So fine.
Why is it? And they gonna say, oh, yeah, that's illegal. Cut this. Cut it out. All you coaches out there, cut it out. Because that's BS.
Yo, it's your boy PH, aka The Prez, Mr. Above 140, my co-host.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General. What's going on, player?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I had a great day. First of all,
Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Happy Mother's Day to all the people that actually out there, the mothers taking care of their children, doing what they got to do. Kel, what up, Kel? Keeping them in sports, keeping them busy, putting food on the table with a roof over their back, bringing them to and from events and school and all that. Happy Mother's Day. Let me tell y'all something. This world cannot work without women. None of this stuff can be possible without women. So I particularly don't have my mother on earth. If you have your mother on earth, trust me. Sometimes it's easier to take it for granted because your mom is here. I ask everybody out there, if your mom is here, please make sure that you call her and check in with her. When they're gone, you give everything up in life to just say hi to them. No words. Hey, how you doing? They hear the voice. I'm not gonna lie, Tito. I kept my mom's phone on for about 6 months after she passed away, just to call a voicemail. I kept the number just to call a voicemail, bro. And I eventually had to let that go. So shout out. What's up, T? Shout out to everybody who got their mother. I'm not making this an emotional thing, but y'all know what I mean. If your mom is here, man, not just today. Consistently tapping with another thing. The treasures that come along with talking to somebody with the wisdom that our age, that our parents have, you can't get that anywhere else. So shout out to you if you got your mom, you know, and they're still chugging along. You probably got good traits. You probably gonna live a long time. So shout out to them and all of that. That's a blessing. So Tito, we know why we here. So I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna just tell you, Tito. So I was at, this was Saturday. Oh, by the way, I went
happened yesterday.
Well, God bless. I went to church. Church, it was a great day in church, by the way. I had a great day in church. Anyway, I was out and my inbox started filling up with information. Yo, checking on what happened at this event out in Groton. I heard some mayhem happen. I didn't really originally know what was going down at the time, but everybody kept telling me to tap in with it. I didn't tap in with it.
I found out soon as I got to my walkthrough, one of my peoples, you know, that from the coaching world that I've been known about 20 years, came up to me right away. He was out there early when it happened, and then they came to watch my game. You know what I'm saying? He came up to me and told me the situation.
Before we start, let me predicate something for everybody out there, because I don't need he said, she said. I'll jump out the window myself. I think it's clear, everybody out there, that I don't mess with 32 Sports. 32 Sports don't mess with me. I don't particularly believe in harming anybody.
We don't mess with them.
But I don't particularly believe in trying to stop anybody paper. So I don't ever engage in that. I got Hurricane kids that play for that program. You could talk to those parents. They have never heard me say bad words on my field. They don't even hear their name come out of my mouth at our field or any of my events or anything that I do. That's not the case. Wait, hold on. Let me finish this real quick. That's not the case the opposite way. That's why you heard of them trying to have meetings to combat the All-Star game, trying to stop it. So why do I say all this? And I want to get this out before we start. I say all this to say, if after this podcast, anybody feel like, oh, Phil just saying this because he don't like him, if you feel like that, you do. I'm really believing the journalism part and looking at it both ways. So I want to say that before I say that I'm not going to turn into who they are against me, because I'm a stand-up guy, so I stand on what I stand on. I don't believe in stopping anybody paper, so I'm not going to stop. I ain't going to be saying nothing to intentionally hard them, particularly to stop their paper. That ain't my goal here. And number two, I am how I am, and if I got a feeling or a vibe or I want to say something, I say it. I'm not going to get into what they do and what they try to do back. I think it's clear, and I made it clear. They do their thing. I don't announce it. I don't support it. I don't go to their events. I don't do nothing. They don't. You know, and vice versa. It ain't the same, but that's okay. That's why I'm built the way I'm built. So I just want to put that out there that I don't rock with them. So this is not. We ain't cool in no sorts, no nothing. All right. They do them, I do me, and when they do it, they walk by. They may say what up, may not, and we keep it. But let's get back to the
we put them in that. We put them in that box a long time ago.
I'm telling you,
we put them in that box a long time ago as the people we don't, you know, there's people we will never acknowledge, and they're in that box. So what I'm getting at, this ain't about them. This is about the circumstance of what transpired at an open event where, I guess from what I understand, it was a mix of 7-on-7 and 5-on-5 all at one place, which it must have been a pretty big facility. But knowing the size of it, I mean, understanding from what I'm understanding, the size of it, this was prime ground for something like this to go left. You know what I mean? It's just way too much going on. Way too much going on, and it sounds like there was no contingency to how are you going to keep all of that in order? You get what I'm saying? Like it sounded like it was a massive event from what I understand.
So let me I'm gonna backtrack and walk through the information I got. Now I am here to say straight up, I was not there. I don't know. I was not there. He said, she said. The police filed a report. I read that. I saw the NBC report. I didn't watch it, but I did see it. I read the comments, and I got multiple phone calls and information from parents that was there, not associated with particularly the program that was throwing it. And I got information from people that was there with people. So I'm going to chop it all down. And there's a bigger discussion. My whole discussion isn't about the Groton fight. I want everybody to know that. That is not why we're doing a podcast, but we'll get to that, because that's more interesting to me than the fight. But let's cover it because people wanted to cover. So I was told that there was a 7-on-7 game at 15U. Oh, let me rephrase something. There was young men that was involved in this incident. I have no desire nor no intention to mention their names, show their pictures, or try to degrade these young men any worse than what's already happening to them with whatever happened out there with the stories in the news and all of that. That is not my goal. I will not be doing that. So if you up here looking for me to say a name, show pictures, that's not what I'm here for. I ain't here to tear people down. This discussion is going to be about exactly the opposite. And y'all don't get it yet, but if you hang on, I'll walk you to where I'm going, and maybe you guys will agree. Maybe you'll disagree with me, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like me, so whatever I say, they're gonna disagree with me anyway, or have the perception of what my intentions are. But let me keep going, Tito. So 15U game happening, and it's John amongst the children. We'll talk about, does the culture hold any responsibility? But that's what's happening. Game is over. I did get told this today, right before I came on in a phone call. And I don't say names because that's unfair. I did get told that the referees play a little role in this. I ain't saying I agree or disagree. I'll explain, Tito. I was told that there was 6 minutes left in the game, and the referee, Jerry, you know a lot of people don't like me. It's all good, though. It's all good. Anybody that deal with me, though, Jerry, know I'm stand up. But the referee said it was 6 minutes left and called the game with 2 minutes. I guess the clock to taking the ball off the football tee wasn't working. And I don't know which side coach, but coaches were counting down 6 seconds when they were supposed to have 4 seconds. So they were mad at that, at the fact that they were getting additional time. Never, Jerry. We don't care about that. Come on, we ain't emotional over here. They were already, and so that helped start a lot of the back and forth. And we know referees do bear some responsibility to keep a calm to the game. Let me keep going. So imagine that happening. Boom, the referee ends the game, Tito. This is what I was told. While the referee ended the game, kids are shaking hands. Let's say Coach 1 and 2. Coach 1 from Mass, supposedly, had started jawing off with a kid from Connecticut, to the point where it looked like I did not hear blows was thrown, but it was bad. It got to the point where Coach 2 ended up putting hands on Coach 1. Okay? Now we there. That got separated. Jarring amongst kids, fighting amongst kids, all of that's going on. That gets separated. I'm about to walk you through a conversation that I had with somebody that was with Coach 2 walking to the parking lot. Remember what I said? That was with a coach walking to the parking lot. And they said to me, we were now separated, hands got put on. Let me intertwine. Somebody else, and look, these facts could be wrong. Y'all can correct me. Somebody else told me that The guy, coach one that was upset, went and told the organizer, I'm going to my car to get something, to do something. Right then and there. So Sam just said the dad from Mass threw the first punch. That's what he heard. But the person that told me said he didn't know. So he didn't say he did or didn't. Well, he didn't know.
Just to piggyback on what you said, the person I know that was there told me that dude told the organizer, I'm going to the car to get the banger, and I'm gonna air this MFer out. You know what I'm saying? That's the words he used. So now, we all know what that means. Right here.
If that's true, I don't know if it's true, but if that's true,
right, I don't know if it's
right then and there, the responsibility lies to do something about it. If it's true, if I come to you, because to me, if a person that's really going to air it out, he ain't telling nobody. If I came to you, Tito, to tell you, T, I'm going to my car and I'm coming back to air it out, I'm actually giving you an opportunity to stop me. What I would have done, I have done. We'll talk about my
following you in the car.
I'm not throwing stones from a glass house, bro. I get it. Like this happens in Hartford too. I would have walked with the dude. I'd said, yo, let me holler at you, and walked with him to his car. I'm about 90% sure, I don't know, but you gotta be cut from a certain type of cloth in order to know, is this real? If so, like James just said, I'm calling the police. Yo, get here. I got a guy going to boom, 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 boom. That I don't know. But if I know him,
that's a good step. That's a good step. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that course of action. If you feel it's the situation's above your level of expertise, you call 911. Absolutely. I mean, there's kids there. Absolutely.
The police to Annie Fisher. I don't care how you feel.
What I'm trying to say is there would have been nothing wrong.
Over some shit. I call the police at Annie Fisher.
There would have been nothing wrong.
On Annie Fisher, if something pop off, I'll call the police. They got guns. They're going to be there with the 90 million cops. I don't care how nobody feels.
There's nothing wrong. There would have been nothing. There would have been nothing wrong with that course of action if that's what was done. But that's not what I'm understanding. But go ahead with the rest of the.
All right, let me keep going. You have that guy goes to the parking lot. I'm about to pick back up on the walk with coach number 2 to the parking lot. What I was told. Could be wrong. Walking to the parking lot, cool conversation. No rah-rah, no beef. Coach number 2, guys walking to their car. They see coach number 1 being stopped by a coach from the program that's throwing the event. Talking to him in between like some cars. Yo, chill, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to tell you right now what I was told with his own eyes or hers own eyes. It was 100. No, never mind that. Because people going through stuff, I don't want to put it like this. The person kept saying, supposedly, they want to talk to the coach that put hands on them. In their hand was something that they considered dangerous. Let's just say that. There's rumors out there. I see it. It's now with the police and the courts. I don't want to be the person to put no information out there because I ain't going to testify for nobody. This is a podcast. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I'm just telling you, whatever it was dangerous. Now I'm going to correct myself for everybody out there. I already told you I don't like 32. Let me rephrase that. I already told you I don't mess with them. It ain't that dislike. I don't dislike them. I don't mess with them. But I was wrong. And I'm going to eat crow. I was told that the man, coach number 1, never actually went out the parking lot. I said it happened. I said it wasn't just in the parking lot. I think I'm still kind of right because the mayhem was everywhere. But I was told that coach stayed at the parking lot and then tried to get away from there. So it actually never took to the field. So I'm going to correct myself. And I left my statement up for anybody that feel they want to go under there and debate it and call me a liar. Have that. I'm cool with that. All right, Tito. So coach number 2's walking. This coach starts acting up. He makes the statement. You see what I got in my hand? And I got another one in the car. Heard by the person I talked to. That's with coach number 2. At that point, people go running inside the little, it wasn't the original parking lot. What I was told, and I'm going to try to visualize it, that it was an overflow parking lot with some parking and some dirt. That's where they were parked. That's where they were. James, I think it started on the field, but I'm at the point where coach number one with the thing, that wasn't started on, that took place in the parking lot. That's what I was saying. But then people started running like a melee. Once that happened, I need to tell you something, Tito, because I need to say this. I looked at the statements that was released. I think 32 released 2 different statements. Boston released a statement. If I spoke to parents who told me their kids got trampled. I spoke with a coach from Boston, good peoples of ours. I'm not gonna say his name. I spoke with a coach from Connecticut that we both know.
I spoke to
both
a couple
coaches told me they had to pick kids up 5 years old off the ground. The coach from Mass told me he had to stand with 3 kids crying because they didn't know where their parents was at. So I didn't particularly like the first statement because I didn't feel like the accountability was enough. Because I'm gonna tell you why. If my kid got trampled on, I don't want to hear give you time. F your time. If my kid get trampled on in New Britain at a New Britain event, bro, you don't have no time. I feel some type of way, and it's traumatizing. You know, a parent told me that their kid is now questioning and is traumatized by this, that they don't know, they're scared to play flag football. Like, think of that traumatization. I'm sorry for all the parents out there. That may never go away.
That may not go away, but that's another conversation.
But it may never go away.
I want to get into the culture of that garbage.
No, that's the second half. That's at 9:30 and on. That's 9:30 and on.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to get into the whole the whole problem.
Cool. I'll get into it. I also was told, Tito, and I need to say this because look, if the organizers here, they may not know this, and this might help them to understand the magnitude of what was happening, because I'm sure they wouldn't be able to understand the magnitude from any particular spot. Parents told me today, Tito, to say thank you to the people whose houses was close. They let multiple kids into their house and asked them to lay down on the ground, dog. Think about that. Kids banging on your door to get in because they're petrified that they're about to die in these kids' mind. So I have to let these kids in the house and ask them to lay on the floor. This is the magnitude of what happened. This is not small. And anybody out there that's saying, oh, it's getting blown out of proportion, and all due respect, I spoke with everybody who did this. Y'all wrong if y'all saying it wasn't.
Everybody that's saying that. Everybody that's saying that. Let's be clear.
Y'all wrong. That's not cool. You can't say
let's
it was
be
blown
clear.
out of proportion. No child
I seen all the people. I seen all the people that were saying it, and there's people directly attached to 32 Sports. Nobody that was there, like as a regular party, it's a completely different side of the story for people that weren't involved with 32 Sports about what happened there yesterday. And then you're listening to the 32 Sports guys' side of the story, and it's all you hear was, oh, we were in God's hands. It wasn't as dramatic as everybody seems. Dude, it was on the news this morning at 6:30 a.m. It was absolutely had to be out of control. And I could only imagine what it was like.
I'm going to tell you why James Cook is saying thank you to Coach Myers. Hey, James, I'm sorry if I can tell this story, brother. Why
don't we just bring him on? He was there. Let's bring him on.
I was told this. Let me say this, though. I was told that his son was one of the kids that was knocked down, that people was running over, and that Larry Myers helped his child out. Yo, my kids wasn't there. My kids was in church or whatever. It is no way to tell that man it's blown out of proportion and your comment's not right. Dude, if your kids is somewhere else, you don't get to tell no parent who child get trampled on at an event that they're blowing something out of proportion. Look, it's not me, y'all. It was true. His 5-year-old son getting trampled on by adults, and you think you got a right to turn to a father whose kid getting ran over at an event and say, man, you blowing it out of proportion because your child's safe? To me, that's privileged. Now you want to be privileged because my child's safe, or my husband's safe, or my wife's safe, or my kid's safe. I'm now going to turn around. Some people wasn't even there telling him he shouldn't be talking like that. Like, this is crazy. Like, to me, if your child, like, it was a major event. At least let's at least in the least, I think we should, in the least, Tito. If look, there's going to be people that blames the organizers. There's going to be people that think the organizers should not be blamed. Both sides have full rights to feel how they want to feel. Just like you and I, we don't all gotta agree. It ain't beef, it's perspective, right? There's not a right or wrong thing. It's perspective, right? But let's acknowledge people's pain and hurt. That, as an organization, you cannot bypass. No matter what you do, whether people agree with you or not, you have to acknowledge the pain that people been through whenever you do something. I did that. I did, Tito. You know the events that happened at Hartford last year. I had to frontline that thing. I got scolded by my wife, dude, for running up, grabbing people's hands with things out. Like, I'm not throwing glass stones. It can happen anywhere. I want to be clear. This can absolutely happen anywhere. I am not saying it can't. And please stop writing me saying stupid stuff like, it's supposed to be about the kids. Listen, youth football events is not about children. It's business. Did you pay to go in the tournament? Did the kids pay to play? It's business. It's about the adults. It's adults that register these kids. It's adults that bring these kids to the games. It's adults that throwing them on. It's about the adults. The adults just need to know how to act for the children to have fun. It's simple. It's like Six Flags. The adults need to know how to go to Six Flags and bring their kids to have fun. Six Flags is supposed to be about the kids. But we all know that the adults need to walk that line. Let's read. Go ahead.
It's about that culture, though. That culture, that 5-on-5, 7-on-7 culture, which is the next part of the conversation. Is that culture, what they're allowed to do in them situations, and how everybody's on top of each other, and how like they're playing on these short fields, and it's way too personal. That's the problem. There's no parameters. You get what I'm saying? When you go to those things, it's like how we used to throw them basketball tournaments in the 90s when you're in one fenced-in area and you got 1,000 people. You know the things that used to go on at those tournaments. You get what I'm saying? You were a part of them. I was a part of them as a player. You know how those atmospheres, what transpires when you got thousands of people in the location and everybody's on top of each other. Of course, these things are going to happen. And then when you add all the antics and things they're allowed to do, it's nonsense.
I ain't ready to turn the page for the conversation, brother. I'm still at the event. I know you want to get to the other part. I'm going to tackle the event because I'm going to hit it head on. I'm okay with that part. If you don't want to tackle it, I'm okay with tackling it because I don't like what I'm seeing online. Look, when it's me, Tito, you see what happens. The other side has called people and told them what? Oh, you see what you heard what happened at the Hurricanes field for the third, fourth time? That's what they do to me when it happened. And you know what? I frontline it. I tell my parents sorry, but I curse my community out standing there. People heard it. Ask people in the Hurricanes. They was there. West Elmwood was there. Ask them how it was handled. I'm not throwing glass stones because it happens to me. Why the organizer getting the blame but not holding the coaches accountable? Good question. C said he was there. It's crazy, but we need to pay more attention to the dude that pulled the weapon out because it can happen anywhere. C's my guy. That's true. It can happen anywhere. But let me ask you a question, C's. If I was to walk up to you and I kick you in the leg, do you have a right to stab me, shoot me, or hit me with a bat? I just want to answer that question for me, brother, because that's going to be part of my second conversation. C's is my guy. That's what I asked him. It needs to stop. We need to protect the babies and the kids. I agree 100%. Yeah, no cap. You're right. It is business. It's business, yo. It's business. It is. I wasn't there. He hoped everyone is good mentally. I spoke with parents. I do not think James, look, you know what? I'm going to give these out at the next flag event. How about that? Whoever throwing the event, even the ops. I don't have ops. That's a youth thing. I just like saying the word. Bingo says, the location that it was has been a home field for James Cook and his family for years. I can't imagine the pain felt by the family, the children who go to the field every Sunday. Listen, I what if his sons don't even want to ever go back to that field? We didn't even talk about that. Like, Mick said, flag is straight, Tito, but the culture is not. He said he don't blame it on the event. Folks have to control themselves. That's all. Okay. Good perspective.
Yeah, but it doesn't help. What I'm saying is it doesn't help. It doesn't help. It doesn't help when you're allowed, you're that close to people, especially in competition where it's drawing back and forth. Like, in tackle is a little different, but we'll get to that when it's time to get to that.
Sam, I don't think the culture is exactly the same as tackle, Sam. We're going to talk about that. There is a different culture between 7-on-7 and tackle. For one, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm confirming because I spoke with somebody that had the film, and he showed me that everybody's on the sideline a lot of the times at 7-on-7. That is not the case in West Haven with y'all big old nice pretty stadium with beautiful stands and a brand new turf field and elaborate scoreboard.
Not the case in no stadium.
Everybody don't have that.
The case in no stadium.
7-on-7 is too much taunting and antics allowed. This is coming from a guy that's in that world. It's not me and Tito. Spot on. Now we are the problem straight. It's us, our people, black people. Oh, we get in there, James.
That's a good point. That's a great point, James. Because me and Phil talk about it all the time.
I was coaching when it happened. My son was on the other side of the park playing. I promised them 5 minutes running, looking for my son. I promised the worst and scariest moment he ever had in his life. Listen to this is grown men being traumatized. As a community, we have to police ourselves. We're going to talk about that too. People just look at the brackets.
We'll be on that. We'll be on. We'll be on that.
Players to be tough, hard, show no fear, but in real life events, we are human at the moment. We come to these tournaments as family events. We bring babies, families. End of the day, it needs to stop. Eventually, parents will not want to bring their kids there. We're going to talk about eventually. Doing all that just for a kick in the leg is diabolical. Okay, Tyree, I'm glad you said that. I want everybody out there to listen to me. There's people in this world that's going through real life shit. If it's kids watching, please move them out. There's people in this world going through real life shit. You have to stop thinking that you can tell somebody how to react to anything that you do. There's some people out here with real mental disabilities. There's some people out here who just lost their mother yesterday, and they're looking for a reason to throw their life away. I'm going to tell you a story, Tito, that I told before. God's honest truth. Talk to my man, Keywan, who I talked off the ledge when he lost his mother that same day. Keywan Green from Bowes Park.
Yes, my guy.
Tito. Yeah. When my mother passed away, Tito, I went MIA for about an hour. I'm going to be honest with everybody out there. My wife called me. The only reason I went home. Tito, I was riding around Hartford, just chilling. I was strapped. I was angry. I was beefing with God. I ain't go to church for a year after my mom passed. I was beefing. Tito, I'm going to be honest. Had I felt I saw somebody that I maybe dislike or didn't, I probably would be spending the rest of my life in jail. I am nowhere near that type of person. But mentally, I can tell you I was not right when I had to sit in the hospital from 3 to 6. I didn't even call my brothers and told them their mother was dead. I sat there dolo, just me and her. I refused to tell anybody. 3 hours talking to her. I was mad at her. Felt like she left. People go through things in life. It is not your right or your job to tell somebody how to react to your disrespect. You may feel like it's too much. That's just a perspective, though. That's not right or wrong. Right or wrong is 4 plus 4 is 8. That's right. 6 is wrong. I hit Tito in the leg and I kick him and Tito turn around and stab me. Tito's not wrong. Perspective may say Tito's wrong. Some people may say you shouldn't have touched him, Phil. All I'm saying is You do not get the right to tell people where to bring stuff to. That's why I say the slogan on the Youth Football Podcast all the time. Everybody, and I'm not talking about these coaches, I'm talking about everybody. Keep your hands to yourself. When we do that, probably 90% of the shit can be de-escalated. Once somebody do anything to infringe on somebody, put hands on you, slap your hat off, pull your shirt, kick you in the ass, any of that, now it is wide open to do whatever to respond to that level of disrespect. That's just my opinion. I'm just going to tell you. Kids is not good mentally. That's the saddest part about this, man. He was in the military. He went to war as units. I should not see M4 carbon weapons used for war at a youth football field strapped up around grown police. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. No, you can't tell anyone how to react to my actions. True. It's true. It's sad, but it's true, man. 7-on-7, like with the battle pylon, you can't do anything but play. It's the parents. Stop saying it's the culture. How many fights we seen with just kids? Yo, we know it's the parents, but it happens.
I don't agree, Sam.
7-on-7, so that becomes the culture, Sam. I think that's what it's saying. What finesse 2 times say? It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. True. That's true, right? It's not just black people at these tournaments. Do you really think other races act a fool when they play? They're upset.
No other races.
We're going to get into it, brother. There's nothing you can do. Just pray to control anybody else's actions. That's true, man. We're going to move on in a second. Nothing was worse than looking at his child's face when he finally found him. You can't get that look out of your head. One time I thought I lost my nephew. I was at the New London thing. He went from one place skate to the other. And for like a good 10 minutes, I thought I lost him. I also lost the Hartford Hurricanes kid in Disney World, Tito. You know about that. Dude, I don't know what it was like to do for some of you people out there for your own child. Like for your own. You imagine looking for Lucas, dog, on a melee like that?
Dude,
you think somebody
I lost him in Walmart. Yo, he went and hid in some jeans in Walmart one time. I made him shut the goddamn doors down and sell it to Walmart. I really thought I lost him. And he was only going like 5 minutes. I lost my mind. Like, yo, how am I explain this shit to people?
So he said his daughter ran into the officer arms that had a gun. Like, I hear about this from accountability perspective, but not 7-on-7 culture. It's everyone involved, black, white, whatever race. We're going to talk about that. What do you guys do to mitigate this situation at events in the future?
Good question, OJ.
Present, security, or look, maybe you can't. Maybe you can't stop it. Think about it. That's a possibility. The kids tried to fight after police was trying to de-escalate the situation. That's just crazy. That's what Groton do, huh? They police totally different from the urban areas. You can't be mad at the most cops out there, probably an army anyways, just ready to shoot something. 32 had cops there. I'm not aware. I don't know. I wasn't at the event.
We don't know.
I'm going to predicate this one. I don't know if anything I'm saying is facts, but I would not report until I spoke with people that was with people or on the ground.
Listen, I hope we're not trying to blame. Hold on. I hope we're not trying to blame the cops for doing what they thought.
Nah.
You know, they have to respond how they respond. They heard there's multiple guns in the parking lot. There's thousands of children and people. I hope we're not trying to blame the cops for trying to secure an area and make sure that everybody's safe. Like, I hope we're not blaming the cops.
Do you
I hope that's not what's happening.
Tito and myself said this in the past. It's going to soon come a time where you're going to have to buy streams to watch your kids. I'm telling you. It's going to soon come a time, parents. Now, these may have been...
I'm reading those questions. This is the problem. This was a huge event with a lot of people, a lot of things going on. And I just saw the last comment. There was no police presence there. That's the problem. Me and you, if we throw an event, we can't control thousands of people. Shit, we can.
But
what you mean potentially? There was no cops there. I just read it.
Yeah, but you don't always need cops at events. Like, I don't want to put me personally, I don't want to put that out there because What happens if every youth program for the state of Connecticut now gotta have cops? Like we're talking about.
I think that's what
we're talking about affecting the lives.
I think that's where it's going.
Hold on, we talking about affecting the lives.
I
know, but I don't want to put that in the universe. I'm gonna tell you why. Cops can call my cheer competition, Tito. It costs $3,000 a day. If we had to do 3,000 a day padded on to every youth program cost, at least 75% of youth programs go away. Our communities would be mayhem all across Connecticut. With these children running the streets instead of doing something positive that all of us in this community provides for these children. I'm saying your right is going there. I said I don't want to put that in the air. Like, I don't want to put that in the air.
I'm just saying we've let too many, and I know the background checks for the youth programs aren't as stringent as a regular job background check, but it sounds like 7-on-7 and flag, there is no account. They let anybody coach those teams. So it's the Wild Wild West. At some point, you got to eliminate the low character individuals that are involved with whatever it is, 7-on-7, 5-on-5, tackle. We got to do a better job of paying attention to who we're letting in to coach these kids and lead these kids, because we're seeing collateral damage every month now. It seems like, whether it's AE basketball, football, flag, whatever, we're seeing these ain't dust ups no more. These are absolute physical assaults that we're seeing. You get what I'm saying? They're not dust ups no more. They're physical assaults that we're seeing all the time now. It wasn't like that 2 years ago. It wasn't like that 3 years ago. It wasn't like that. Now we're seeing it happen all the time. So at what point do you protect? You got to protect your brand and protect the kids that people are paying to come to your event. At what point those are the measures you're gonna have to take.
I had security last year at Weaver.
Look, I don't even bring my kids. I don't even bring my own kids no more to games at all. Period. I just don't bring them because I know if something's gonna happen, I'd rather be by myself. It's my point.
Sam, if you're talking to me, I didn't have the cops, but I did have to pay for a security team that's registered with the state of Connecticut that can bear arms, and I had to send that in to the city of Hartford, but also they'll be in West Haven as well, just so everybody know. The All-Star game, I'm not crossing paths. I'm gonna keep on moving. Let me say something else. No details were at the event. No cops were there. All right. So let's there were plain clothes cops there. I think he's talking
somebody
about
else said that too.
So there was cops there. You guys, which I you know what?
Yeah, but plain clothes could mean they were just there. Plain clothes could mean they were there. Maybe their kids were playing, maybe they were there undercover. I don't know. So we don't know.
They were off duty, it said.
Right. So they couldn't have done nothing.
The Moors must lose like CID because I didn't see them last year, Phil. They had staff they had security on the back of their shirts last year.
No, he definitely had a security detail.
Off-duty police officer, Kim said. He said they were being dads. Minotti said there was nobody knew what was going on and who had a gun exactly. Word is Minotti stood ground, Tito. I ain't running nowhere. I'm just telling you what I heard. she stood like a soldier. I said, "Dang, Minotti, you crazy." All right, let's move the conversation forward. I am going to show you guys something. I think what I'm about to show y'all, this is the more important part of the discussion for me particularly. And like I said, I have no interest in showing nobody faces or anything like that, but we're going to read the comments, Tito, from the news story. Let me get to the right spot because I don't want to show nobody. We're going to read the comments from the news story. And I want to get into what my purpose of this podcast is, because I don't think it's just about this thing right here is affecting us all. So first of all, so you guys know, up here, this is the news story. I won't scroll up. I don't want to show no young men faces and bring nobody down worse than what they already have, right? But let's read some of the comments so everybody out there can understand what the real issue is. Look at this first comment, Tito. No problem. You have social justice here. You're free to go. Facts. Just follow me, Tito.
You know, I'm reading. I'm trying to read, brother. Hold
law
on.
office
You're going too fast. Go back up.
Didn't do nothing, right? They show this lady. My baby didn't do nothing. Just keep going. I want you to eventually get to where I'm going.
Hold on.
Get an education, a punch of ignorance. I'm getting to a place because I read these. Look, ain't nothing to it. Gangster rap made me do it. I'm getting to something. I want you to just keep listening to me of the narrative in the post, right? I'm getting to it. It's them again. It's them. It's them again, Yogi. It's always them, boo-boo. I'm just keep listening to me, you guys. Look at this comment.
There's something I do. It's tough to argue. It's tough to argue.
Black History Month.
It's tough.
I want you guys to follow me now. And like, are y'all paying attention to the narrative being painted online? Now, I want to walk y'all through something real quick. Entertain me. I want to say this before I say anything. This is not a shot at any other league. I got friends and I care, but we have to be honest about everything, Tito. We had a breakup in Pop Warner up in Northeast Mass, correct, Tito? You know what the narrative spin was out of that. We have in Connecticut 4 leagues that's bigger than AYF and Pop Warner probably put together. Am I right about that? Tito.
Yeah.
Fairfield County, Northern Connecticut Pop Warner, Shoreline, CTYFL, Nutmeg, Northeast Mass, Ritzma, all of these leagues. Tito, minority cities always say these leagues don't want to play us. The problem that we have is we love to say, yo, but it's not me and it's not Tito. Or it's not me and it's not Mick. Right? Follow me, Tito. I'm going somewhere with this. And so you guys should play us because it's not me and it's not Mick. Oh, it was so-and-so. We all look alike, but it wasn't us. So I have a belief that in their minds, this is just a belief, and I'm not talking about the leagues, just the people, the narrative being spent, we got to talk about it. I have the belief, and maybe it's rightfully so, that it's not their job to figure out whether it's these 2 black people or those set of niggas. Because you all look alike. So I'd rather stay away from all you Negroes. It's safer for us on this side.
Clearly. But that's been going on. We know that clearly.
We've been blaming and castigating and pointing that finger at them, the others, only to realize when you see shit like this and the narrative get painted, I want somebody up here to say to me, they still shouldn't feel like that. Because I don't know about you, Tito.
No,
if I could bring my daughter to a league where I feel like she's going to be safer, I'm going to do that. And we can argue that we're not like that. But how are we to tell a group of parents that they are not to feel safe? They if that's where they feel safe, they don't have to play against what they deem to be unsafety. It's messed up, and I don't agree with it. For the record, I don't agree with the perspective. But I also have to look at both sides and be transparent and say, I do understand the philosophy, though I disagree with it. Go ahead.
I don't agree with it either, but the reality is, bro, we're our own worst enemies. We just are. Because when we all get together, for some reason, these things transpire, number one. Number two, I can't blame. We got to get to a point where we stop blaming. Oh, we got to stop blaming them. It's not on them. It's on us. We got to get our shit together. You get what I'm saying? We got to get our shit together because it just we see it's not working for us this way. Then things got to change. It's just not working for us. Holistically, it's not working for us. We've let, and I'm talking about our urban communities, we all have let way too many low character individuals be involved with this thing that used to have some order to it, that no longer has any order to it. You know, and think about 20 years ago when we first met, 25 years ago. We was the only two minorities in those rooms. Let's keep it real, bro.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? We were far and few between. I'm talking about positions of leadership. We was in our 20s with positions of leadership, sitting in these rooms with all these older people. You know, we were. Think about the coaches we had. There was a standard. We weren't just letting anybody coach. You get what I'm saying? There was a standard. Now, somehow, some way, we could be part of the problem. We've lost that standard. You know, it's too many low character individuals involved with this shit. Period.
So here's what happened. Probably that Groton field, and I don't know the facility. It sounds like it's big and nice. I wish I did. Gene, I like your question, but take the F word out and repost it. I'm gonna show it. I want to discuss it. Probably and I'm saying we because we're youth football culture, right? All-Star game could have been a little. We probably lost the opportunity to ever play on that field again as an all-star, possibly. The town of Groton probably is going to see an application come forward at some point. Not youth football. I'm sure they'll let their youth play. But they'll
I believe Groton may be a city too.
Bryant, a flag program, or somebody else doing an all-star game, and they're going to say, remember what happened and so. 5 football fields, James said that thing got. And what's going to happen is they're going to say no. So now, if this was the pot that we had in the state of Connecticut, this one event has done this. You see this hand here? Now, that may not seem like much. But what's next to Groton, Tito? Give me a town next to Groton. New London? Tito, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, New London's next to it. Yeah, New London's next to it. I was reading.
So if you take New London, I'm sure all of those towns who had to report in will come across their police references and go, no. We're not letting it in New London. We're not letting it in Norwich. We're not letting it in Groton. So now instead of 1, 2, 3, see how that works? And as we get squeezed out, this was the bigger portion of my conversation about the whole thing. This thing has now affected us all. Some coaches not only allow taunting, but join in. Whatever happened to the good sportsmanship, a little humility, it starts somewhere. He was at a game with an opposing player and coach told him don't help him up. It's not a big deal. Tell the kids to shake hands at the end of the game. I like to coach with a coach like that. He shouldn't lead kids. I don't know what that is.
No, she's saying that there's. Yeah, she's saying that she didn't like the antics of whatever coach she's speaking about. I got what she's saying.
Oh, okay.
That she don't want her kids playing for somebody like that would join in that type of thing.
G, what up, G? I'm always aware of the biased outlook on anything people do. Race plays in a role in 100% of everything. Yet, it's people within races that do stupid crap that lumps us all in together to bear the blame. 100%. And that's my point. It's not that I'm responsible or you responsible. It's that Hartford and New Britain are the 2 biggest cities in 860 Tito, and we're not responsible. Part of this thing is we're going to meet the brunt of this thing. Right? And this gives them a reason to say stuff like Black History Month. They know it's not Black History Month, and they know why they saying that. They saying it's you niggas out there. It's the niggas again. Not black people. It's the niggas again. That's what they're saying. And you know what? People who can't say it out loud is at home like, yeah, it's the niggas again. And so when your application come across their desk, they say no. And you wonder why. I got to teach my course on walking away and being the bigger person. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. and I said this a lot. And look, it's not always the blame. The community we grow up in, the music we listen to, our culture does not teach us how to deal with our emotions. It actually tells you to do the opposite.
Right, no, it tells you to do the wrong thing.
Our culture
The wrong thing
teaches us to not know how to deal with our emotions, but to act on them. I say it all the time. I got family doing a 35-year life bid, double homie. My mother's twin son, first cousin. He's getting out soon.
Peace to the God.
I asked them, yes, definitely. I asked them, I said, yo, how long did it take to handle your BI? Like, how long? He was like, yo, I just did that and I did this and it was over. Seconds. The mayhem is long. The operation was seconds. My brother caught a body, T. You know that. I mean, he not guilty, but he did time for a body. When you talk to people in my own family, now, not my brother Rocket, for all y'all out there, no, my brother Rocket, not my brother Rocket. But these things take seconds, man, and it changed the trajectory of your life. Now, these young men,
1 second.
Involved, they may be able to get over
Bounce
this. I
back.
hope they do. I hope they do. Especially, I'm gonna be transparent. One of the young men who I heard might be involved has always been good with me. Has always been good, cool to me in our crosses.
It's been good.
Whenever he was involved in my events, was stand up with no issues. But that's my dealings with him. So I'm gonna say that was my dealings with him. I'm not telling nobody else how to feel on their dealings with nobody. I'm not here to tell nobody that. Gotta learn how to control the impulses. You ain't a sucker if you walk away. Be the bigger person. Or you could be tough and just be talked about and, no, we ain't gonna act like John Don't knocking shit over little Timmy at the league baseball game. Right, but don't nobody run man.
Right.
Any
Stop putting out burners.
Loser celebrating is part of it. I teach my kid to play, have fun, but don't touch anyone. True. That's number one. My son and his white friends and black friends react the same. Like I say, ignorant kids grow up to be ignorant, parents and adults. We need to hold parents and adults to a higher standard. Shit. We need to hold these kids to a higher standard. We're raising sore losers. I told Tito this.
Social media played a huge part in that.
Tito started talking to me, everybody out there, that there's a lot of people that don't like losing and they rather not play than to lose. And I told Tito, you know why? Because people know the social media backlash is going to come with a loss, and they don't come when you just don't play and give somebody the win. Even though mentally that it's sickening to think I won't show up to a field and lose in a game and get better from it. I'd rather just give up. The thought process that we can teach children that we have adults with that mind frame that's willing to do that for kids because the social media backlash, and maybe it's sore loser, Sam, but that's a mind frame. I just don't. I don't know what that is, but you see a lot more people going, I'm not playing. That never happened 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, though. I never seen people just not show up because they don't want to lose, or they know they're going to lose, so they don't show up.
See, look. Minotti just made a good point.
Go ahead.
Minotti just made a good point. So you see what she's saying right here? You won't see none of those antics in the tackle. You won't see none of those antics in the tackle football game because for the most part, I know you, I know me, we don't let our kids act like that. We don't let our kids, I don't let my kids do all the taunting and all that crazy stuff. Now, they're going to jaw and get to the chippy stuff like everybody else, but they're not doing this type stuff right here, what she's talking about. You don't see that in the tackle football game. You don't.
Listen,
did you see her last? Her last thing?
Yeah. I put it up. Tackle football
Did you see? But that's what I'm saying. Those antics haven't crossed over to our thing.
Right humping
you
kids.
get what I'm saying?
Right humping kids. That's like that don't happen in tackle football. I've never seen a dry hump in tackle football.
Happen.
Maybe it doesn't happen.
And the thing is, in that culture, and I'm going to say in that culture because it is that culture. I know it's going to piss Sam off, but it's the truth. It is that culture. You see the coaches acting like that too. Like it's all good to be out there acting like a buffoon. You know what I mean? In something where there's no, I don't know.
My beef with 7-on-7 is the antics. Let's talk about it. In 7-on-7, kids doing celebrations of swinging their hands in front of their penis, head tapping. You will never see that in tackle. These 7-on-7 coaches be corny.
Yeah. Coach corny, cornballs.
Standing over kids doing head taps. This is true, Gene. It happened at Annie Fisher Field. It was at the big house, I think. Pal beat my team by 72 years ago. I had to deal with it.
What Pal got to be a part of it? What Pal got to do with this conversation?
Listen to what he's saying. No. You taking it wrong. Listen to what he's saying. He's agreeing with us. He's saying he took an ass whooping, Tito. There was no fighting. There was no beef. Y'all shook hands. He moved on and got better. He didn't not play the game when Matt and him played at Annie Fisher. I agree.
Yeah.
He was there.
Well, it was a scrimmage.
There was no fighting.
It was a scrimmage.
I think that's what he was saying is, yo, I showed up. I got my ass whooped. We shook hands. We all chilled. And we all went home peacefully. It's okay to lose. And don't nobody even remember it if Gene wouldn't have said it. Gene remember it. He definitely wanted the energy.
And he turned around and won.
The kids, if we give it, got to be willing.
And then he won.
Go ahead.
No, but see, the coaches shouldn't be the ones giving it. Like that's where it's all wrong. That like I don't know.
That is social media influence, Chaz. We're looking at other regions.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like anything, and our kids are being influenced by what's going on in other places. The ones acting innocent was the main ones trying to provoke these kids, but when they react, now they're wrong. Right? Listen, you know. Again, you just don't get to tell nobody how to act in no situation.
Here's a good point. Here's another good point you just put up.
I'm gonna say this. Okay, I'll say it. Refs have much more control in tackle. Never seen a flag ref thrown an unsportsmanlike penalty. Oh, see, good point, James. I don't really do the 7-on-7 thing. I can't really speak to all of it. I'm looking at the culture from a YouTube and media perspective. I could be wrong, but I'm going to jump out there and be honest that it's not my world. Tackle culture is way different than flag and 7-on-7. You do that corny stuff in tackle and you'll become a target in tackle football. True?
True.
But how do we make sure that what happened at this event doesn't transpire in the future? All right, let's get to that. Mick, you should come on, Mick. You got good.
He's saying all the things I was saying.
Who else? Maybe we should bring James on. You said bring James on.
Bring James on.
I want to talk to some of y'all because I don't have the answers.
Yeah, people that was there. Bring people that was there. Bring people that was there. Like, you know what I'm saying? We did our job as you know, semi-journalists. You know, we did what we had to do to find the facts of what.
We journalists. I ain't no semi-journalist.
I'm part-time.
Larry says he coached 7-on-7 and none of his players do that type of stuff. It starts with the coach. It starts with what the coach will allow to those players to do. Certain coaches don't play that. True. I believe that. Madeline said,
from what I've seen.
Go ahead. I'll read it afterwards. Go ahead. Say what you say.
I said from what I've seen in the little experience I got with 5-on-5 and being at 7-on-7, I see more teams with the BS than teams I've seen not with it. And even to the coaches be out there being involved in the dances, acting like Puff Daddy and shit. Like I've seen a bunch of, it's just nonsense. You'll never see that in a tackle football game. Like there's parameters. And there's still somewhat etiquette into what we do. This ain't about us. Football was never a game for you to express your feelings. You express your feelings between the whistles and when it's time to play. That's when you express your feelings. Not with all that other garbage, Puff Daddy dancing bullshit that you see.
Who did the Puff Daddy dish, y'all? Put their name up. All right. Madeline said they threw a ref for unsportsmanlike conduct yesterday for doing a backflip after a celebration. G said, we all know sketchy and foul people at our events, yet they only impact us when they do dirt. We can't ban them. But we can't ask them or tell them to stay away. And the way most of accountability is on them. But the problem is it becomes on us. James said he's too ignorant to come on right now. I respect it, James, because I'm not sure if I was you, I'd be able to not say some foul stuff with what your family been through. It's a lot of penalties, but when the league allows, but it's what the league allows. Battles encourage all of the weird celebrations. Pylon, you can't do that. You can't do anything gun or sexual related. Like you really got to tell. You really have to tell.
You can't defend it. He needs to stop trying to defend it. You cannot defend
at an event
what we all been watching for the last year. You can't defend it.
It's freestyle football. Let's be fair. Flag was never meant for what it is now. It was simply extra work. And when I was in high school, we had a passing league and we was not allowed to celebrate and do any antics. Refs made sure of that. Gene said, we owe it's the wave. I do kind of agree with that.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true because look, that's not true because look what is happening.
You just mentioned to me that you just mentioned to us. You said you see more teams doing it than not doing it. Then Tito, that statement
talking
hurt.
About that. I'm talking about in that culture, bro. I don't.
Right, and in the 7-on-7 culture, Tito. If there's more teams doing it than not, then that's what the culture is, Tito. Like, we don't have to like it, but if it's more, I don't know that it's true. But if there's more teams doing it,
guys keep promoting it. Keep promoting it, and if somebody gets smoked in 2 weeks, and go ahead, keep promoting it. So keep promoting it.
I agree. I think it has to
act
stop.
like it's not a problem. We can all act like it's not a problem. We can all act like it's not a problem.
I think that they know that. I do agree with Gene though that it's the wave now. It's what it is. This is what the kids are seeing. This is what the kids are doing. This is what the refs are allowing. It's what it is. I don't like it. I have been told by a high school coach that 7-on-7, a real high school coach, like a offensive coordinator that was at the event that talked to the coaches, and I told you this, that his kid got the offer, 2 of them, right there. 2 juniors got full right offers from UConn. This is God's honest truth, is what he told me. I wasn't, so if those things are happening, then it's a place for it. As far as the culture, I don't know how to change it. I don't know if we can change the culture.
Well, I just think 7-on-7, let's be clear. 7-on-7 originally was for your high school teams in the offseason, the passing league, like Chase was talking about. That's what originally 7-on-7 was. Then Cam Newton came along with whatever he started. And that was the beginning of this thing that we're seeing now, all the craziness, which it hasn't moved the culture forward. It's setting us back. Look what just happened yesterday. Look what just happened yesterday. It's setting us back. If it went back to what it was designed for your receivers and your quarterbacks to get some off-season work in the spring and in the summer leading you into the season, that's all you really need. All this other stuff is more for the adults involved in it to be like, oh, look what I'm doing. I'm playing against him. Oh, let me call out Cam Newton because you've been a loser your whole life and you want to make yourself known like he's going to remember who you are 10 minutes after the game. It's a total nonsense culture, bro. The whole culture of it is wrong. It's just wrong.
I want to welcome my boy Mick, the mayor, the mayor of Boston. But let me read Meek comments. She said Meek is on it tonight. The refs probably scared to throw flags because they be getting paws on them too. I only can laugh because Mick, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Truth, though. It's the truth. We just seen the video. We seen the video.
I got the robe on, cuz my fault.
Yo, so Larry Meyer says, so what do we do? Because certain people act up. Do we not do 7-on-7?
I'm not saying I got the answers. I'm saying that but what's it going to take for somebody to die before you guys figure it out?
Yo,
I don't know what to tell you guys.
My fault. I don't want to. I'm just jump on real quick, man. Yo,
go ahead.
Man. The truth be told, yesterday was a dope event, right? They, you know what I'm saying? Like from what they was trying to do.
Which I did hear. I should have mentioned that. I'm sorry to cut you off. I did hear that event was dope up until that point. Go ahead, man.
Yup, dope event. But the truth of the matter is, man, the reason why I'm glad you brought me on real quick, man, is like, the flag part wasn't no drama. What fucked up what messed up the event was the 7-on-7 side. So, what I'm trying to say with Tito, and Tito's trying to say back to me is like, there's a big issue with 7-on-7 because of the taunting, the antics, and all of that, man. So that's what I'm saying. Like, your flag was straight. Like, there was no beefing on the flag side, man. Or if there was, it didn't get to that point. All that melee and dudes, snuffing whatever and running to the whip and all that, that was the 7-on-7 side. My team was warming up to play next when all that went down, man.
On the same field?
On the same field.
Wow.
No, did they end the event after that happened? Did they end the event, mate?
Yeah, because mind you, I'm on offense.
I'm saying after the skirmish, after the melee happened, and all the people running and all that, did you get to play your game, or they shut?
Nah. Everything. My kids everybody was hopping fences looking for their families. They shut it down. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they shut. See what I'm saying? Like, what's it gonna take? I got you. Go ahead.
So, like I'm looking at this comment, right? It was like, you blaming the sevens culture instead of ignorant adults. Right. What I'm saying is the adults. It is the adults, but what I'm saying is in the 7-on-7 culture with the adults, they're not. Most of these coaches is not checking the taunting. Nobody's checking. Like, these coaches are taking part in taunting. These parents is on the sidelines when tackle. You understand? Like, it's just too much going on with the 7-on-7 culture. Another thing Tito said, a lot of these dudes that's coach 7-on-7 be losers, dog. They're looking for attention. Like you said, they over here thinking they Cam Newton and they like, no, they doing too much. I like 7-on-7. I love 7-on-7. It keeps the kids active, and you get to get some free practice in. But the way it's going, with all the swinging in front of their penis, kids going to them, head tapping the kid.
I didn't even see the swinging. And I saw the head tapping. I don't even know about swinging somebody's head to their penis. They grabbing somebody.
Nah, they just take their hand and just
like
swing it
like a pendulum.
Okay.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then you got the coaches too that's doing the most, man. Like, but nobody's checking that, man. Like, that's not happening in the flag. That's really 7-on-7, like the culture of taunting and head taps and all that. It's nasty work, dog. Regardless how you ever want to put it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's nasty work. I agree with Larry Myers. 7-on Cam Newton is a bad reference, man. Cam Newton's doing a good thing. It's nasty work out.
I didn't say he's doing a bad thing. What I'm saying is, I believe when Cam got involved with 7-on-7, with what he did with his travel team, there was none of those travel teams before Cam like that. And then when he started doing his thing and kind of propelled it, and then now you see everybody doing it. That's what I'm saying. It became a lot more popular when Cam Newton got attached to it, I believe, in my opinion. But remember, I'm no 7-on-7 guy. You'll never see me at one of those events. I'm an O-line coach. There's no reason for me to ever be there, like ever. Yeah. So I'm not the one to, I just see what I see. And I know I see the antics online. I mean, I see the stuff that goes on.
7-on-7 is dope, but I want to jump on and make it clear, like, everything was running smooth at the event. The flag side was good. The 7 to 8-year-olds, all that flag teams was straight. All that melee went down because of that 7-on-7 game. So people that's in 7-on-7 like myself, what are we gonna do so that we don't have these issues for future 7-on-7?
Let's get to that point. What could we do? I'm not even in the culture, but let's say it's us. We youth football. What could we do to make sure not only 7-on-7 but the culture? I think the taunting and all that needs to be super mandated, man. We need to dead all that. You taunt, you kicked out the game. A game gets too chippy, clip it, because it's getting too much, dog. It's getting way too much, man. Because to be honest,
way too personal. It looks like.
If 32 Sports didn't do a 7-on-7 piece, we wouldn't be talking about 32 Sports today, dog. That's what I'm getting. That's the problem. If he just did flag, he would have been straight. He did the 7-on-7 piece, and it went down.
Wow.
So what does that mean? That means there's a
right.
link
So
in
and
7-on-7.
where do you get? Where do you get?
Having fun
Hold on.
and enjoying the game? There's a disconnect between there somewhere.
I got a question.
Yeah.
There's a lot of in the Northeast now. There's a lot of these premier 7-on-7 travel type teams. I think that's where the problem lies. It's when you're bringing those teams that have a little bit of sponsorship money behind them. Everybody's just trying to get on camera. Everybody's just trying to. They're doing it for all the wrong reasons. They're not doing it for the development of your quarterbacks and your receivers. That's my point. They're all doing it for the YouTube clicks and the Instagram clicks. They're not doing it trying to progress anybody. It becomes more about the adults than the kids from what I see. Just look at everything that happened even with Cam Newton.
Right, yo, even with the homie Larry, he said, "Yo, colleges hold 7-on-7 kids." But guess what? They're not doing the swinging of the joint and head tapping when they go to these camps, bro.
So I want to point that out. That's a great place for me to start because that's where I was gonna go. Larry Myers make a great point. When they doing at a university at Miami, Michigan, Virginia, Ohio State, these kids go there and they know how to fucking act.
Yeah,
right? They know how to fucking act. But they'll come to a tournament in Connecticut and they do what the fuck they want. Which leads me to believe maybe it's the culture of who's throwing events. Because somebody said earlier, Pylon do not allow you to do this. But you can do it over, in this tournament. And I don't know this to be true. Maybe you telling me the same kid who know that his future could be snatched away from him if he do this in Michigan, who just grabbed his penis, swing, whatever, and tap some kid on the head, go to Michigan, make the same catch, hand the ball to the referee, and peacefully jog back to his sideline because all of a sudden he know how to act? No, that kid always know how to act. He just know where he can act and where he can't. At least that's what I'm thinking. It tells me. I could be wrong. But if you know how to act when you come to Phil House and don't know how to act when you go to Mick House, then Mick need to get his fucking house in order.
Right.
Because if you come here, you take off your shoes, you hang up the coat. Mick say he got the same rules, but you go there, you throw the sneaker, you bust the window, you bust through his door, you jump in his pool without taking a shower and all that, but you don't do that at my house, then you're the same kid. You know you can't do that here, so you take your shoes off. I think that we got to start thinking about, or maybe the organizers out there need to start thinking about themselves. It might be a self-reflecting moment for a lot of the 7-on-7 organizers to say, okay, what is it I'm doing or I'm putting out that's allowing these kids to think that they can do something in Groton that they can't do in Michigan? What's the difference? Like that's it right there. Maybe they could say, listen, I'm telling every kid right now, I'm recording every game. If you act up, I'll send it to every college coach I know. I'll shut your future down. You could either play with respect here or you don't play here at all. I'm going to do, and I know people, oh, I can't believe Phil said he going to shut their future down. Well, that's why they're not doing it at Michigan, man. They know what's going to happen when you do it in front of Penn State head coach. He going to say, oh, yeah, that's the kid that head tapped somebody and slapped somebody in the face and did a flip and drove off on a cart. He can't play here. And then nobody wants you. I mean, that's what happened. We know how to act in environments so we don't get fired from our jobs, so our business sales don't go down. We show up, we respectful, and then we hit the block with our people. Yo, what up, man? You crazy as hell. We don't talk like that at work. We know how to act depending on where we at. I think the kids know how to do the same thing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mick.
Oh, yeah. Nah, man, I agree, man. It's just, I'm telling you, my biggest thing, man, for 7-on-7, the way I want to see it, you know what I'm saying? From how it started to how it's getting is just getting inappropriate. Let's just go out there, play football, let's compete and have fun. As far as like having fun, let the kids just do their thing, man. Yeah, let them celebrate respectfully. But all that swinging this and talking trash and waving goodbye and doing all this extra shit. Then you got 7-on-7 coaches yapping. Then you got parents on the side. It's like, yo, when do we shut all that down? Yep.
Can I ask you something, Mick? How come?
Yep.
How come? Like I said, 7-on-7 used to be strictly for the high schools in late spring into the summer to roll into August. How come that's no longer good enough for 7-on-7? Because that's all 7-on-7 used to be 15 years ago. It was none of this what it is now. All it used to be is you ran with your high school at wherever the passing leagues were, and that's how you got your work in come June, July, leading up into August. How come that's not good enough no more?
So I'm gonna say this for myself. Me personally, when I did 7-on-7, I did it for the city of Boston because I feel like, there was no 7-on-7 there for young kids.
Is it because the high school? I was asking, is it because the high schools in your area are not doing it no more the
high schools are, for the most part, the high schools are doing it like in June, July, but that's for like, high school kids or juniors, whatever. But in Boston itself, they don't have it for 12, 13, 14-year-old kids to do something in the summer. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I use 7-on-7 as a tool for kids to have something to do in the summer and also prepare, to play their fall tackle, man. You know what I'm saying? For skill guys and this, that, and the third. So that's what I use it for. And that's why even my league, like in my rules, there's no excessive taunting allowed. Any excessive taunting, you lose a point. So I don't really have them issues at my league, you know what I'm saying? Because I already see how it's going. Like, I don't know if you remember the story of like either a year ago, a kid caught the ball on somebody, he touched him, he had top to top of his head, and the kid knocked the other kid out.
Yeah, he knocked him out. Yep. I remember that.
Like, so from that point, there should have been a big, you know what I'm saying, shift in rules and mandated things, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing, man. 7-on-7 is dope, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a 7-on-7 guy. I like it. My kids enjoy it, man. I just don't like when it gets in the wrong hands and the wrong people doing what they're supposed to do, because we're supposed to help build these kids' character. And that's from tackle football, flag football, 7-on. It don't matter what it is. Any kid that goes through any program is to help build their character, man. And when I'm seeing dudes not helping build these young men's character and young women's character, it's an issue, man.
So Larry Myers, I want to talk about this. He said they usually do national scale tournaments. He doesn't do, like he said, they don't happen at Battle OT's 7 pylon events because there's scouts there. Again, leads back to my point. I think it's getting more evident to me that it's the event organizers, right? Those antics not allowed. Again, kids don't act up when they think there's somebody there that's looking at their talent for the next level. They calm their ass down.
Well, I will say this too, just to punch this in too. Like, those tournaments he's mentioning, those are also heavily secured events, man. Like Pylon, OT7 and Battle. Like, there's security, there's cops. Like, them organizers don't play, dog. Because it's a national scale, so they don't know who's coming through there. But they make sure it's on pinpoint. Ain't none of that yapping parents is over there. Like, ain't no just letting parents on the sideline. Coaches get too crazy, kids get too crazy. They nip that in the butt. See you later. Disqualified.
Yo, Rodney, let's talk about the All-Star Game celebration. We know from the meetings, Tito, that I have, and the meetings I have with both teams every year present, that I meet with each team. Now, maybe this took place yesterday, but Tito will tell you, I spent both teams there. Parameters. I tell them watched. I tell them that it's scouts here. I tell them that they representing their family name on the back of their jersey, and they are not to do nothing and touch nobody. They can go and celebrate. They can run to the Teletron. They can do all that. But what they can't do is do no celebration or taunt or touch the other team. That is not the same, though. I just want to make sure it's not the same. I'm only saying the organizers because the 7-on-7 guys is sitting here telling me it's not happening at certain events. It's happening at low-level events. So it seems like when they're at the colleges, it don't happen. When they at Pylon and OT7, it don't happen. It got to be on the organizers. Because why is these same kids playing all these tournaments, but yet when they go to the low-level ones, Tito, they doing the pendulum swing with their penis and all that. But they not doing it at Michigan. Like, the kid ain't different. It's the same child. It's the same coaches, the same child, the same everything. So to me, I think that it has to be the events. It has to be. Now, this is the outside looking in, and Rodney, I could be wrong, but it seemed like it would be the event. That's all I'm saying. Like, it seemed like it would be the event. But I think you can celebrate without taunting. And I think if 7-on-7 go to celebration, it sound like, and look, I'm not in it. I'm gonna keep on saying it. It sound like what Tito and Mick was saying was the taunting side of it, right? Like, Tito, your problem is with the taunting, not the celebration.
The drawing.
Right. With your player,
the drawing.
Touchdown is no problem. Go ahead.
If players are drawing with coaches, that's a problem. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's
keep on fire.
No room for that.
I got to stop showing her comments. Most people don't care about the extra shit when they collected their payment. Me on fire. Any athlete
that's a whole nother point.
That is, I'm not saying. I said she got
a good point. I mean, I know, we know that she got a good point because it goes back to when I read one of those statements. Make no mistake about it; these guys aren't volunteers. You are paying them for you to be there. So
there's no volunteer.
What happened yesterday? Absolutely. Well, yeah. What happened there yesterday absolutely falls on the organizers, and you can't defend it because they weren't prepared for what they weren't prepared for what may or may could go wrong. You have to always have that in a contingency.
Look, we got 5 minutes. I'm not gonna go much longer. I think that in the end, I wanted to be I was asked by parents specifically to get out the fact that there is no minimizing it for the parents whose kids ran into completely stranger houses and hid on the floor. That was petrified children. Like, how do you minimize that? Like, anybody out there minimizing it, that's on y'all. And you could not like me.
Yeah, but look who's minimizing it. Who's minimizing it. It's the cloning.
You cannot minimize that it happened. You can't minimize a coach in our community, James, who can't get trampled and then turn around and say it ain't that big of a deal, or they deserve some time to figure this out. You ain't got time to figure nothing out when my kid get trampled, bro. Like, you don't have time to figure it out. Like, nah. I feel how I feel now. I don't have to wait a week to feel how I feel. I feel like that right now. And we, as organizations, as people that throw stuff, we have to accept how the people feel that day at our events. I get cursed out like crazy every time after the All-Star game, Tito. I respond to everybody who cursed me out via email. Anybody out there who ever cursed me out, it's all good. Write me back and tell me if you didn't get a response from me whenever you wrote me upset. I respond to everybody that cursed me out because how they feel, it has to matter to the event organizer. It doesn't matter how you feel as the event organizer. In the end, we're responsible for how people leave our event and feel. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to be happy or everybody's going to be mad. You can't make everybody happy, but we must be responsible for the feeling that our event creates. We hope that it creates a high environment, safety, you feel good, you had fun, you felt safe, you want to do it again, you want to come back, you're going to make suggestions. We hope all of that go down. And when it do, we accept that. You can't accept that side because there's another side to that. I was upset. I don't think it was worth my money. I didn't like it. My kids didn't have fun. You should have done this. You should do that. My kid didn't get a fair shot. The referees were not fair. That's the other side of it. And you got to take that side. As a person that throw an event, you have to accept that side. You just got to. You can't weasel your way out of it because it's uncomfortable. You're going to learn from the uncomfortability of the event. Guarantee you, if said company had to throw the same event, they do it 10 times different. That's called learning. It's called education. And we all have to go through that to get to that. That's just part of the growth. But so yeah, obviously the responsibility falls on the organization.
I can tell you,
it happens at the Hartford Hurricane Fields. It falls on me. I don't like it. I don't have to be there.
I could tell you what's never a good idea. It's trying to have all the age groups ranging from 8 to 18 all there at one time. Like, I don't know. There's just like we do in tackle. You put the younger kids on one day, you bring the older kids on another day. You try not to have them all there, like, because now, like Mick said, there was no problems with the flag. The problem was with the older age divisions, and now look what happened. Everybody was affected by it.
Yo, look, I'm not a licensed psychiatrist. I have a master's degree in educational psychology. If your kid was really truly affected, I'll make a suggestion that from an educational standpoint, that you probably should go and have your kid talk to somebody, because that's traumatizing, especially if your kids was one of the ones that got trampled, if they was lost without you, if they ran into somebody. Think about the idea that we tell our kids, don't go to strangers, and they're in so much fear that they banging on the door of a stranger. Could be a serial killer, a rapist, anybody. In the moments, a kid don't care. That's what they feel the safety net for them is in a moment. That has to be some scary shit. That has to be some of the scariest shit a child ever been through. I don't know. I know that happened. I don't know if that's the case for every individual child, but if you can have your child speak to somebody, man, have your child talk to somebody. Because I'm telling you, these type of things don't go away. I spoke with another president who told me, her son was worried about upcoming events and pre-thinking where they would hide if it happened that day. Think about that. Kids are now pre-thinking where they will hide. So if I come to Annie Fisher, where could I hide if this happened? That psychologically has changed the children, though.
There's gonna be blowback. There's gonna be blowback about this thing. There's gonna be blowback. Like, there's absolutely gonna be blowback. You know, I clearly you shouldn't run flag with 7-on-7. Sounds like, from what I'm understanding of this conversation, two very different things, two very different atmospheres. But trying to do it all at once and not having a contingency for safety if things went wrong, that's where the problem lies. And it seems like nobody wants to talk about that. That's where they're at fault. They weren't expecting the worst. You get what I'm saying? You always got a plan for the worst. None of us want the worst to happen, but you have to have a plan in place.
It's your boy PH, the Prez, Mr. Above 140. I want to thank everybody for coming and chilling, talking, educating ourselves, doing all that. We appreciate the conversation. If you felt it was slanted towards one person, against one person, that's on you. We said how we feel, you feel how you feel, and hopefully we can all agree to disagree, because that is what makes the culture great. I'll leave it up to you, T.
My word, good conversation. I mean, it had to be talked about. Hopefully, something like this doesn't happen again. Like I said, my only suggestion is I would always keep the flag separate from the 7-on-7. Try to keep the babies away from what the teenagers are doing, and maybe something of this magnitude, maybe not so many people will be affected by it if there was a little more proper planning.
With that note,
and that's all I got to say.
Wednesday,
it's your boy, Coach Career, the General. Peace to the guys.